Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, and today I am going to discuss more about the event kernel object. So yesterday in the last video we discussed about the event kernel object and the significance of the event kernel object and in what scenario it can be used. So we have discussed that in the previous video. And in today's video, I'm going to discuss about the difference between the manual reset event object and auto reset event object with the help of a sample application, sample example, right? I have already discussed these two concepts like manual reset events and auto reset events. And today I am going to discuss about the program that you can use to test these manual and auto reset event objects. And you can, after understanding the concept, you can easily understand that where you can use these concepts in your program. So let's start. So this was the program for the server, the master server that I created yesterday, but I need to just remove this portion so that I can write something else. Okay, so I'm going to create two threads, or you can say I'm going to create three threads, right? Basically, we can create a handle array for the threads, and I will create four threads, and all of them initially being null. They are all pointing to nothing. And here what I will do, I will simply create four threads after creating the event object. Okay, so I will just create four threads for int an index is equal to 0, an index smaller than 4, and an index plus plus. Okay, so let's see what we can do, how we can create the thread handles. So th array, and here we can write like an index and then create thread. And I have already told you about this function, so I'm not going to repeat it again. So 0, and then every thread starts with a function. I already told you. So lp thread start routine, I'm going to write one function here, and that same function will be used by all the threads. Void demo thread. Okay, and inside this demo thread, what I will do, I will simply print thread ID, right? Because every thread will have its own thread ID. So get thread, get current thread ID, something like that is the function name, current thread ID. So every thread will display its own thread ID. Okay, so we will place some mechanism here so that it will remain here only. It will be in a loop, or maybe some sleep mechanism we will add here so that we can see that how every thread is working. Okay, so here I'm just going to create a thread, four threads, demo thread, and then let's come to the next argument. We are not passing anything to the thread, so it's null. And then creation flag is like 0, which means that immediately after the thread has been created, this will be schedulable. And I'm not interested in the thread ID, so I'm just passing null. I have told you in one of the videos, in the previous videos, that how you can receive the thread IDs, whatever thread you have created. Okay, so that thread ID will be printed here. Now, we just need to see if this thread has been created or not. So if you want, you can just put like this: if error is not equal to 0, or thread array index is, you can simply call the int error, and if thread and index is null, you can call like that. But the better is to call the error get last error. And if error is not equal to 0, then you will simply print like cout endl the thread not created, sorry, and just return 0. You can simply return from the, sorry, here I need to write something, and after that I need to pass I need to press the semicolon, but I didn't do that. So here you just need to write like return exit failure. So main function will return from here if it is not able to create any of the thread, if it fails to create any thread. Okay. And at the same time, before returning, it will simply close the handle for the H event. Okay. So before closing the handle, you should not move ahead. And apart from that, you can check what is the current index. If the index is third index, then it means that thread IDs, the thread handles for the index 1 and index 2 has already been created, right? So if they have already been created, then you should close them first, right? So that is your responsibility that you can do. And you need to I'm just going to put the comment here. You just need to close the thread handles as well in case few threads inside this loop got created successfully. Okay, so if the threads were created successfully, you just need to close the handle and return exit failure. Okay, so 4 threads have been created now, and each of these threads will print the current thread ID, which means every thread will have this starting function, demo thread, right? Number of threads can have the same starting function. It's not the rule that every thread should have a different function name. Every thread, in fact, any number of threads can point to the same refer to the same thread function, the starting function, the thread starting function, you can say. Okay, so we have created this, and now let's do one more thing. Wait for multiple objects. Here you go. What is the count? 4. Threads are 4, so th array, and then you need to pass the wait all. Yes, I need to wait on all the threads, and then I need to wait infinitely, right? I just need to wait infinitely till all the threads are done. So I will just write wait for multiple objects. So once all the threads will be done, then only this application will return. Okay, so here you can see, now let's come back to this event, and I'm going to describe about the manual reset event object. Okay, this is the example of manual reset event object, and in the next video I will discuss about the auto reset event object. Okay, so here is our manual reset event object. How does it become manual reset event object? Because I have passed true to the second argument, right? True means this is a manual reset event object. And what is a manual reset event object? It schedules all the threads waiting on an event once the event gets signaled. I hope you understand what does it mean by the signal and non-signal state of the kernel object, right? If you don't understand, you need to go back to my previous videos, right? The theoretical part of the videos, theoretical part of the kernel objects, right? So you need to visit those videos, and then you will understand what is the meaning of signaled and non-signal states. Okay, so wait for multiple objects, and then let's come to these functions. These functions are returning like the current thread ID and everything they are returning. And after that, they will wait for sleep, let's say 10 seconds. I'm giving 10,000 milliseconds, so they will be waiting for 10 seconds. And after waiting for 10 seconds, they will, no, let me just do one thing. Dword, dw is equal to wait for single object. And what object they will wait? H event. I need to just make this H event global so that it can be accessed. So let me just put it here, null. and here you can just write like this, h event. Okay, so here I'm just going to wait on the h event object, and let me just check if dw is not equal to error wait, sorry, it's wait failed, or dw is equal to wait timeout. Although the timeout thing is not valid here because we have passed infinite, but still you should know all the valid values that you must be testing, that you must be checking before moving ahead. So one value is wait failed, the other value is wait timeout, and the last value is wait abandoned. Wait abandoned, abandoned. Okay, so I need to put not equal to here. Okay, so if, and here you need to put and. Okay, so if return value is none of these, then what will happen? What is this? Wait for single object. Okay, I need to just pass infinite. Okay, so infinitely I'm waiting on the event kernel object. Okay, so here what I will do, if any of these things occur, like if anywhere it fails, then I will write like wait failed on the event kernel object, right? And that's it, and it will just simply return from here. Okay, so every thread will have the same function, same starting function demo thread, but every thread will have a different thread ID. So even if 4 threads are calling this, using this demo thread function as the starting point, every thread will print a different thread ID. That you must need to remember, right? So this is what is done, and now what we will do, simply one thing. All these threads are running, so wait for multiple objects. So these threads are running. What I can do one thing. Before starting wait, I can simply put here a statement in endl, press any key, or you can say press enter key to signal the, what you can say, signal the event object, manual reset event object, manual reset event object, right? So I'm not putting any sleep or any kind of thing here. I'm just handling it through the, controlling it through the main function itself, because main function is itself a thread. So inside this thread, once all the thread have been created, what will happen here, like it will ask you, I'm not sure why it changed to this finger notation. I'm not sure. Okay, let's not look into that, because these kind of things happen whenever I create videos just to disturb me, but they cannot disturb me. So let's move ahead. So you can write like date care, and once someone will press any key, which means that you will put any character on the screen or enter character or press enter key, then what will happen? After that, it will simply simply place the event object, manual reset event object, into the signal state. And once this is placed in signal state, every thread, sorry, not object, every thread will move ahead from this wait function, and it will print cout endl, the thread, the event got signaled and after 1 second, or you can say after 3 seconds, we want to return from this thread, right? So that after 3 seconds, these threads will be done, right? So there are only two things: either wait will fail or it will pass. So if it passes, then it will display this, the event got signaled. Okay, so we are ready for everything now. So let's see, and let me just go through this. This is the event object. There are 4 threads, and before waiting on all these 4 threads, since all these 4 threads are in the memory, they are running now. So what will happen, we will just ask any you ask the user to press any key so that we can signal the event object. Until we signal the event object, you will be only able to see this message from every thread. Thread ID this, thread ID this, thread ID this, and that. Right? So all the 4 thread IDs will be printed, but you won't be able to see this message, the event got signaled. Once you will signal this, once you will press any key, then this event object will be signaled, and since this event object will be signaled, all your threads will move ahead from this wait function at the same time, because this is the manual reset event object. And in the manual reset event object, I have told you that all the threads which are waiting on the manual reset event object, they all will be scheduled immediately. They all will be schedulable immediately. Okay, so let's move ahead and let's test it. Okay, so it will print all the threads. Okay, so let me just check. Okay, so the thread IDs have been printed, like 1, 2, third thread ID printed here, and the 4th one printed here. And this has also asked me to press any key to signal the manual reset event object. Okay, so this message has been printed, although this message has been printed here, but it doesn't mean that you cannot press any key right now. You can press any key because your program is waiting here. All these threads are waiting here, but your program is waiting here. So once you will press any key, and this, whenever this thread will get the time slice, this will be able to get your enter key pressed, and after that it will simply show you that, okay, so it shows that wait failed on the event kernel object, wait failed, all the wait fails on the event kernel object. Okay, so all these were failed. Why they were failed, let me just check. So thread ID was printed for all the threads. This thread, wait thread, is failing. Why it is failing? Oh, I wrote come on, I just wrote it reverse. It means that we are okay, right? So here you should write like this. And now let me just run it again. Now it will print fine. Okay, so now press any key, and as soon as you will press any key, all the 4 threads will be signaled, and all the 4 threads will simply print the message that they all have been signaled. The event got signaled. So all these 4 threads have signaled it, and after 3 seconds you might have seen that this was done. Okay, so I hope you got the point here, and if you have not got the point literally, then you can simply put a comment in the comment section. Please remember that if you are interested in the Windows programming and if you want to learn it seriously, then in that case you should clear all your doubts as and when they comes. Okay, so in the next video I will discuss about the auto reset event objects. Till then, have a nice day. Bye bye, and please like, subscribe my channel and share my videos with your friends. Bye bye.